Speaker. The question, part A, was very specific to youth unemployment. And I've just checked in the latest report of Statistics Mauritius published in March of the last month, unemployment rate actually is the highest. Almost 50% of unemployed today are aged less than 24. There is 1%, there is also an increase in unemployment rate compared to last year. This is what the Statistics Mauritius is saying. So does he find normal that even as at today, there is 17,900 unemployed people of less than 25-year-old in this country?
Well, I have quoted from statistics. My figures, I don't know where, if you can table your statistics to the House, because I have been quoting from official figures of statistics. And I say again, 2018, the unemployment rate has been on the decrease. The figures that I have is, in fact, it is one of the lowest since 17 years. 6.9. 2018 is 6.9. I maintain that figure. But of course, I will double check on this. And with regard to unemployed youth, I have stated that the rate is 25.1%. And it is not something which is abnormal when we compare. Let us compare to previous years also. And let us compare to the years when also your party was in government. In 2004, the rate was 24.8%. In 2005, 26.1%. So it is roughly around that figure. But what is important is not the figure in itself what is important and revealing. It is how long does it take for a young person to be able to get employment. This is what is important. This is what I've just said. Most of them are employed within a period of 1 year. And in fact, when we say most of them, 88%. But then I do agree that there are a few cases where some of our youngsters are not able to get an employment within a period of 1 year. But the majority, bigger majority, are able to get an employment.
A copy of the Statistics Mauritius, where it's clearly stated at page 4, the youth unemployment rate increased from 24.9 to 25.2 in the third quarter of 2018 compared to the corresponding quarter 1 year earlier. It has increased. Anyway, the Honourable Prime Minister, I'm referring to the figures published, the latest figures published by the Bank of Mauritius, which is public. I don't know what figures you have. The published one on 18th of January 2019. Gross domestic investment flow for the first three quarters of 2017 and 2018. 2017, 15.5 billion. 2018, 11.5 billion. So according to the figures that are officially on the website of the Bank of Mauritius, and I will table that as well, there is actually a net decrease in foreign direct investment.
Well, Speaker, now I have heard clearly what the Honourable Member said with regard to youth unemployment. From one quarter to the other, he said 24.9 to 25.1. It has increased. My God, 24.9 to 25.1? Yes, it has increased. But I don't think you should make a big fuss about that. But as I say, we have been in government when you were not in government, but your party was in government. I don't want to repeat those figures again. Now, coming to FDI. Yes, from 2017 to 2018, it has decreased from 21,242 billion, which is a record for 2017. Never have we reached such a level of FDI. So, I don't think, I would wish that the coming years we do better. But if we don't do better, I don't think it is dramatic. But I don't want to compare again. We have been in government in 2005. What was the level of FDI? And what was the level of the FDI also previously by other governments?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister is a senior counsel. He has mentioned in his reply that doubt has been expressed on the validity of the guarantee certificate issued by 2 banks. Now, doesn't he think that this is serious enough for CB to terminate the contract rather than to condone illegal activity of contractors?
No. Well, my legal opinion counts for very little in this matter. So does yours, for that matter. The point is that we have to trust our legal advisor. Of course, it is a serious matter. If there is a defect in the validity, first of the bank documents, the police is inquiring. I am the last person to be able to express any opinion in this matter, and certainly I have no prejudiced opinion. Let us wait for CEB to continue what it has done, and then we will see what CEB decides.
Madam Speaker, with regard to the urban terminal in Port Louis, the Honourable Minister, the urban terminal in Port Louis, the Honourable Minister just mentioned that he is awaiting clearance from UNESCO. Does he have an idea as to when the project will start and how long it will last?
Well, as regards to the final design, everything is ready. The works can be started anytime. We need the clearance of UNESCO. There was a presentation on Friday last in Paris, and we are waiting for the outcome because we have explained to them that we have a master plan with a number of projects around, and we are looking forward. There was an officer of Housing and Lands who went there, Mrs. Santa, to present the project. So we are waiting for the recommendations of the I have no idea about how long, but we hope that it is going to take a few months.
B170.
Speaker, in my reply to the P&Qs of 17 April 2018 and 23 June 2018, I informed the House that the International Financial Corporation had submitted its report on 23 March 2018. In my reply to PQB 684 on 24 July 2018, I informed the House that the report had been referred to the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development for consideration of its financial implications. Though there has been a convergence of opinions over 2 decades on the necessity to review and modernize the management of the water supply and distribution system, recently there have been numerous views, some very constructive, from stakeholders. I've had discussions with the Honourable Prime Minister, and we have agreed to suspend the exercise to allow for more time to consider all the observations made and, if necessary, to organize wider consultations.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that the decision has been suspended. I know from the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister whether he's prepared to table a copy of the report of the IFC, which he has stated since 2018 is being considered by his ministry.
The transaction report? Yes. I'm not too sure to which report you are referring.
In your PQ, if I
well,
may.
let me just say I will consider your question as drafted, and I shall let the House know.
B171.
Madam Speaker, I'm replying to this question. As regards part A of the question, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that since January 2015 to date, there have been 96 cases of road accidents involving vehicles driven by tourists, out of which 10 cases of fatal road accidents have been reported. These are as follows: for year 2015, 2 cases, 2016, 2 cases, 2017, 3 cases, 2018 nil, and 2019 3 cases. Regarding Part B of the question, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that 10 persons were arrested as follows: 2015, 2 persons, 2016, 2 persons, 2017, 3 persons, 2018, none, and 2019, 3 persons. Madam Speaker, in regard to Part C of the question, I am informed that from the 96 cases, 13 prosecutions have been lodged, including 3 in relation to the fatal road accidents. With regard to Part D of the question, I am again informed that convictions have been secured in respect of 10 cases, including 2 cases of fatal road accidents.
Honourable Uteem.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Is the Honourable Prime Minister aware that in January this year, a Russian tourist, following a road accident, there was a case of involuntary homicides was lodged against that Russian because there was a fatal accident and a boy of 9-year-old was involved. So is the Honourable Prime Minister aware that despite of the gravity of the situation, this case, this accident, 1 month later, the charges were dropped and this gentleman, Russian gentleman, was only fined 3,000 rupees because the charges that was brought against him was driving without due care and attention. So I would ask the Honourable Prime Minister if he's not aware of this, if he can take up the matter with the Commissioner of Police and find out why, in this case, after 1 month, the police decided to drop the charge of involuntary homicide and replace it by driving without due care and attention.
Well, I am aware of this case, Madam Speaker, and I in fact tried to gather some information from the Commissioner of Police, and I will just state the facts. First of all, there have been a thorough investigation with regard to this fatal road accident, and the conclusion of the police was what was recommended is that Mr. D was to be prosecuted for involuntary homicide by imprudence, contrary to such a section of the law. But when the matter was referred to the DPP, the DPP was of the view that this case should be lodged before the district court, prosecuting the accused for driving without due care and attention, rather than involuntary homicide as has been previously advised, recommended by the police.
Yes, Honourable Uteem.
The Honourable Prime Minister, when a tourist driver drives in Mauritius, is he aware whether this tourist is required to have an international license or to show capability of being able to drive on the left side of the road, or can he just drive along the road?
Well, I am informed that as the law stands today and as the regulations are in application, if a person has a valid driving license in the country or in the place of residence where he comes from, that is valid here. There is just a formality where he gets, I suppose, a document, but that is valid.
Yes.
B171, B172.
Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that all the 5,876 pupils attending the ZEP schools are being provided with a meal in the context of the supplementary school feeding program. This meal has been constantly improved over the years after consultation with the Ministry of Health and Quality of Life. With regard to Part A of the question, I am informed that an amount of 83,220,137 rupees have been disbursed since June 2017 to date for the supply of meals. in the ZEP schools. Madam Speaker, as regards Part B of the question, the procurement exercise for the provision of meals is done at the zone level through competitive bidding on the basis of specifications which have been cleared with the Ministry of Health and Quality of Life, specifically regarding nutritional and sanitary requirements. Tenders in respect of the ZEP schools are thus allocated at the level of the educational zones. I am tabling a list of the contractors who have been supplying meals in the 27 ZEP schools during the academic years 2017, 2018 and 2019. Madam Speaker, as for Part C of the question, following consultations with the Ministry of Health and Quality of Life, my ministry has since April 2017 been providing enhanced meal comprising bread with vegetarian filling, a fruit and water at a cost of 60 rupees per pupil per day. The menu has been worked out taking into account the nutritional value of the meal, the need to avoid the use of deep frying and frequent use of processed food, the health and security aspects, amongst others.
Yes, Honorable Uteem.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Answering to a PQ on the 13th of June 2017, the Honourable Minister mentioned that hot meal programs will be implemented on a pilot basis in 4 ZEP schools, one in each zone. You know from the Honourable Minister whether there has been any outcome, any evaluation done on this pilot project, and whether this pilot project is going to be extended to other ZEP schools.
Madam Speaker, 2 of the ZEP schools that I had mentioned are ready, and right now, tenders have been launched and the evaluation of bids are being done.
Yes, Honorable Uteem.
Yes. I had the chance of raising this issue at a journal time last year. Is the Honourable Minister aware that there's a lot of waste every day, every week in ZEP school because the children going to ZEP school are not used to eating the type of food that is on the menu. In particular, they are not used to eating soya, and there is a waste. So I had asked the question last year. So I'm asking the Honourable Minister if she could talk to the Ministry of Health to find out whether there can be non-vegetarian diet also included in the meal provided to the student of ZEP school.
Madam Speaker, I must inform the House that we did have complaints in 2017 and certain actions were taken and some of the caterers' contracts have been terminated. But as from 2018 as for 2018 and 2019, we haven't received any complaints as yet. However, in terms talking about the meals, the menus that are provided, we have resorted to the vegetarian menu because of cases of poisoning that resulted earlier. But we're still trying to upgrade and enhance the meals provided, and we'll be discussing with the Ministry of Health to see which meals, which menus we can add.
I'm very surprised to hear from the Honourable Minister that no complaint has been received, because I can tell you there are 2 ZEP in my constituencies and both are complaining about the quality of food. So I'll tell them to write to you directly. So may I know from the Honourable Minister whether there is any unit in her ministry that carry out inspection to find out whether the quality of food that is provided meets the required standards?
We have at the level of the ministry a project manager for the ZEP schools, and they do carry out visits regularly to ensure that the meals provided are adequate.